The HOA thought they had won. They spent $5 million building a luxury marina on what they proudly called their lake. But they never checked who actually owned the water beneath it. The residents applauded during the grand opening. Victoria Langford smiled proudly as cameras captured the celebration. She believed she'd just created the neighborhood's greatest attraction. Only one man stayed silent. Ethan watched from across the lake, holding an old brass key that belonged to his grandfather for decades. Most people believed the lake belonged to the HOA. Old county records told a completely different story. 40 years earlier, Ethan's grandfather had purchased not only the surrounding land, but the lake itself. The ownership had never changed. The HOA ignored every warning letter. They assumed no ordinary landowner would challenge their lawyers. Ethan never argued. He simply visited the county archives one final time. One forgotten blueprint changed everything. Hidden beneath the lake was the original drainage system built generations ago. The brass key wasn't symbolic. It opened the original control vault beneath the old dam. That night, Ethan unlocked the mechanism that everyone else had forgotten. By sunrise, the entire neighborhood would wake up to a sight no one could believe. Before dawn, a quiet stream began flowing through the century-old spillway. Nobody in the neighborhood noticed the water level dropping inch by inch. The marina slept peacefully, unaware of what was happening beneath it. As the sun rose, boat owners rushed toward the docks. Something felt wrong. Every yacht was sitting lower than it had the night before. Victoria ordered maintenance crews to inspect every pump and every dock. No equipment had failed. The lake itself was disappearing. By noon, the shoreline had moved dozens of feet. Fresh mud stretched across areas that had been underwater for years. Panic spread through the community. The beautiful marina was slowly transforming into a dock built in the middle of a muddy field. Victoria demanded an emergency meeting with county officials. She expected someone else to fix the disaster. Instead, she received a folder filled with legal documents. Every page carried the same conclusion. The HOA had never owned the lake. They had only owned the shoreline. Silence filled the room. The board members looked at one another, realizing they had approved a $5 million project on someone else's property. Outside, Ethan quietly watched from the hillside. He never celebrated. He simply waited for the truth to finish its work. By sunset, the impossible had become reality. The $5 million marina rested on cracked earth, while every resident finally understood who had truly owned the lake all along. The HOA's attorneys worked through the night, searching for a loophole that didn't exist. Every property record, survey, and court filing confirmed the same fact. Ethan Carter legally owned the lake and its original water control system. County officials arrived the next morning to inspect the property. After reviewing the original engineering plans, they confirmed Ethan had acted within his legal rights. News crews quickly filled the neighborhood. Within hours, the story of the stranded marina spread across the country, and everyone wanted to know how a $5 million project had gone so wrong. The HOA board called an emergency community meeting. For the first time, the room was silent as homeowners demanded answers about the millions that had been spent. Victoria finally admitted the truth. The board had approved construction without verifying who actually owned the lake beneath the marina. Instead of demanding revenge, Ethan made one simple offer. If the HOA respected his property rights and followed the law, he would cooperate on a better solution for everyone. The community agreed to remove the unauthorized marina and begin fresh negotiations. Months of conflict ended with mutual respect instead of endless lawsuits. After all permits and agreements were completed, Ethan allowed the lake to return to its normal level. Slowly, the shoreline filled with clear water once again. This time, every decision was made with transparency and respect. The neighborhood learned that even the most expensive project means nothing if it ignores the law. In the end, Ethan never needed to shout. He simply trusted the truth, the records, and the rights his family had protected for generations, and that made all the difference. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another HOA story. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to hear from you.